morning, welcome to another video. We're on another railway walk. We're currently on the site of the long closed Ollerton Colliery. To my right we've got the high modern test track. We're off to locate the start of the Bevercotes Colliery branch and see what remains. Now this branch was recently severed and lifted. Not sure what we're going to find, but we know it includes a few bridges and at least one tunnel. So let's go find it. Now behind that tree, a little bit of the track work for Ollerton Colliery is still down, still exists. There's a bit of point work. I'll take a couple of photos and I'll overlay them on this video. Alright, let's continue on. So here's the track bed to the Bevercotes branch. So Bevercotes that way, high modern test track that way. So usual disclaimer, live railway, we're going nowhere near it. We're not setting foot anywhere near the live railway line. We're walking away from it. We're going to step foot on anything like that. So let's crack on. Let's see where this bend takes us. So, no need to be doing that today. So I last walked up here 2017, I believe it was January 2017, and the track was still down and it was in well maintained condition. I believe they used to do practicing work on them from when out on the main line. They just used to use it as a test track but not actually put any like rail equipment on there. I'm unsure. We'll continue on. I'll speak to you when we get to the next bit. So Ollerton Colliery, that was sunk in the 1920s and it was expanded at least once in the 1960s and 1970s to quite a large amount. Now a lot of the miners came from other collieries that had closed down in that round about those decades. The mine closed in 1994 and the mine was reclaimed and developed into a commercial offices and a Tesco superstore. And the last working left Ollerton Colliery soon afterwards, and the line was later disconnected from the main line. Well, I wasn't expecting rain till around 2-3 o'clock. It's just gone 12 and I'm feeling spits. But we're not going to turn back, we're going to press on. We don't give up that easily. Let's go. So this is the Tuxford Road overbridge. That way we'll get towards Tuxford, and that way we'll head back towards Ollerton and Edwinstowe. We'll carry on. Looks really overgrown and it's spitting with rain. Let's press on. Right, so not only have we got rain, we've now gone into jungle mode. Hope this don't carry on for long like this. like how the vines are still there from when the rails and sleepers were still there, and they're still in place. So I had to make a bit of a diversion. The overbridge over Retford Road was inaccessible on both sides, so I had to backtrack a little bit, walk around and find another method of getting on. And it's pretty easy. There's paths all the way. If you get past the Booton estate, there's plenty of paths that you can get onto the branch with. Also, rain nearly stopped play. It got torrential the period I was walking around trying to get back onto the track. It was just coming down and I nearly gave up and thought, I'll come back another day. But it's saying I should be alright for an hour or so, so let's keep going. So this bridge carries Brake Lane. It looks more like a funeral home for the Tesco shopping trolleys. There's all manner of junk under here. It's been chucked off, set on fire. What a mess. So the cutting has grown deeper and deeper, or higher and higher, after only leaving Brake Lane a couple of 100 yards ago. Now this is because we're on the approach. Yes, you can just see in the distance a tunnel. This is Boot and Brake Tunnel. Let's crack on and get in there. So this 350 yard long bore, now it's known locally as the Mummy's Tunnel, but it's correctly titled Boot and Brake Tunnel. Now the tunnel portals, they're brick built, and the inside walls are almost vertical, parallel brick side walls, and these incorporate regular refuges and a segmented arch concrete roof. It's absolutely fascinating. I'm just so pleased that this hasn't been filled in or fenced off. I think the best thing we could do is probably go inside. So the tunnel would lead further along the branch to Bevercotes Colliery, and this was linked to the network in 1961. So here's one of the many refuges. Now these are staggered all the way down. They're not opposite each other, they're staggered. And I think there's around about 20 of them, so probably about 10 on each side. You can just see a little bit of a reflection of another one. They've all got painted white walls on the edges, so as to be clearly marked in the events that they'd need to be used. Okay, it's time to leave the tunnel behind. Next bridge is Brake Road. So this is the Brake Road overbridge. Looks like there's half a car down here. Let's press on. stop, end of the line. So this would have been put in when the rails were still down up to the tunnel, and shortly after, when it was being used with its second life, although not really used much at all, if at all, for the network rail test track. So this would have been Journey's End for that, but it's not Journey's End for us because, of course, Bevercotes Colliery is a distance away yet, so we'll carry on. Right, so that's where we just come from. So we've got Brake Road and Boot and Brake Tunnel in the far distance. This looks like it's about to turn into nightmare mode. It's like we've got a battle on our hands. Still, when nature's taken over, that's often when you can find something. So we've got some concrete sleepers. 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. Okay, let's battle on. So after that, oh, that was pretty prickly. Suddenly, we get this again. So goodness knows why those 300 yards was just so jungle. Then we've gone back to this clearing again. All right, let's do a bit more. Okay, so that's Forest Lane. Off to the right, this road would take you to the village of Walesby. Now the line is taking a very gradual curve to the right for the last few hundred yards. And as we pass under Forest Lane, that curve is carrying on, and it looks like we're going to get very, very overgrown again. So bridge number 6. It's a narrow road. It doesn't seem to be named, but it does join back onto Forest Lane, which we've just gone under. So after a quick break under bridge 6, I've got thunder and lightning in the distance and those dark clouds. So there's another bridge further down. It's bright and sunny this way. Hopefully it'll go around me. So let's carry on, try and get somewhere before it gets too wet. We found some rail on the trail. A selection of sleepers. Wow. Actually didn't think we'd see anything down here. Oh, that's great. Okay, let's carry on. I've still got the thunder and lightning and probably the rain behind me. Don't know how. It seems as if I'm just skirting it. As long as it stays like that, I'll be happy. So since that bridge, we've got a long row of these arms that would have carried the signal cables. And they seem to go on for quite a while. And there we go. Still going. See how far they go. Looks like we've got a reasonable surface to walk on at present. Let's make the most of it. I can still hear that thunder growing ever closer. So that's the B6387 above us. We've still managed to miss out on the rain. You can still see it down there, I can still hear it. But if it's going to do it, perfect chance. Just do it now. Just do it while I'm under this bridge. So I can wait it out and then carry on. It looks like I'm staying here for a while. Okay, it looks like it's brightening up. About 15 minutes since it started raining. It's still raining lightly, but we can't sit here all day, so we've got to make our way back to where we began. So let's push on. It's still raining lightly, but it's all part of the fun, isn't it? Still, at least it's cooled down quite a bit now. I was starting to get a little bit warm back there. It's freshened it up nicely. It smells nice. And still, we've got those little arms for carrying the cables, if you can make that out. I can't really get... Oh, there it is. They're still present. Next up is the River Morn. A spot of access to... Looks like it just goes down to our culvert. Yeah. No, we won't be going down there today. Maybe when we've run out of railway lines, but not this time. I think the other end of it is just here. I did wonder why the railings look pretty recent and galvanised. Okay, let's crack on. So it's absolutely chucking it down. We're at the River Morn. And this is the overbridge over the River Morn. So that's bridge number 10. Right, let's keep getting wet. I wonder if this was perhaps a foundation for a signal. 4 pins in the middle. So this is the overbridge for farm access. It's very uncomfortable to walk on this last half a mile or so. The amount of ballast is unbelievable. It just moves under your feet. And no sooner have I moaned about the ballast, it's turned into grass. The ballast has vanished, it's still down the edges. So we're now approaching the River Meaden, that's going to be below us. And some old railway buildings. At this stage, this I believe would have also gone into double track. So let's take a bit of a look inside. So there's the Meaden, hundreds of gnats. We've got ourselves an old building. I suppose it might have been a hut for the signallers or permanent way. There's one on the other side too. So we'll nip over and see that. This the other hut. Trying not to get mouthfuls of gnats. I'm going to get a bit wet if I go in that one. If we go out this side, got the River Meaden again. So after leaving that bridge, the ballast has turned into more of a nicer to the foot, more finer kind of ballast. I'm wondering if now we're actually on the section owned previously by the coal board. Some foundations there. Interesting, and it looks like, yeah, it looks like some kind of building was there. And I believe that that's where one track would have been. I think this is where it splits it into two. And it looks like that would have been where the other one was. And I think very shortly we're going to go onto a resurfaced path, and it's been turned into a footpath. So yeah, there we go. It's been turned into a bridleway, cycleway, footpath. So there's the line down there. I have to say that that would be a really good route to turn into a bridleway, cycleway and a footpath. It's not going to get used by trains again. And it's a shame to see it overgrown the way it is, and it's got some good structures, architecture, bridges. It's a shame for it just to lay like that. So many of the lines get converted into these pathways and they have a brighter future. Got ballast back again, so we'll continue to follow this. First we'll just cross over this. So here's the site of Bevercotes Colliery. Not even sure if I've been pronouncing it correctly. Is it Bevercotes or Bevercotes? Starting to get considerably overgrown again. But we've come this far. We've had to do a pretty huge diversion near the beginning. We're not far from the end. I'm sure we can do it. This has by far been one of the most difficult but still interesting walks I've done so far. And I hope everybody at home that might be watching this and still with me now from the start of this walk in particular is finding it interesting too, because it might not be like this for much longer, so it's best to get it while we can. I only do this for fun, and yeah, I've had fun. we've got ourselves another foundation for a signal. We're very close, very, very close to the end of the track bed, I believe now. Now we've passed under that bridge that we just did. And walking around some bushes, we've come onto these concrete foundations with the rails between them. Now is this where the coal hoppers was loaded up? Is this where all the structures that held all the conveyors that carried up the coal and emptied it into the wagons rolling below? This has got to be where it all happened. The fact the rails are still here, surrounded by this concrete structure, are these further foundations of the walls and the units that surrounded. As well as Bevercotes, it was actually the first automated colliery to be built as well. 1965. It was one of the two of newer collieries to be built in the 60s as well, alongside Cotgrave. So yeah, there we go. So that's where the rapid loader would have been. And there's more foundations over there of what stood once a modern and busy colliery, which unfortunately had a very short lifespan. Got very wet. I look a bit drier at times, but you know, enjoy myself. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you enjoy canals, disused railway walks and other assorted walks, anything that's like disused, abandoned or active canal systems, subscribe below. I look forward to seeing you again soon. Enjoy some pictures of today's walk. Bye bye for now.